Hey guys, this is going to be a quick video showing what I'm currently carrying on my bikes. Now with the addition of the new bike comes the need to make up a new carry kit. Now on the FJR, I've obviously got a ton of room under the seats and I can carry pretty much whatever I want. I'll go over things in there. There have been just slight changes since I made the first video years ago. But on the FZ, we're pretty much out of room. There's not a whole lot. We've got a little tiny cubby hole here, a little tiny slot next to the battery, and some under the seat storage, the actual seat itself. If you're using a stock Yamaha seat, that is, or I should say an official Yamaha seat. Either of the comfort seats or the stock one all have under seat storage. So let's go ahead and go through what I'm carrying. I'll put links to everything down below, everything that I can, if you want to look into things yourself, but this is all tried and true stuff. Unfortunately, I've had a couple occasions where I've needed to use some of this stuff. So let's get into it. So we'll start off here with what I'm carrying on the FZ, and then I'll throw in the extras for the FJR. The first thing is what I'm after as far as what my carry kit is including. Number one is basic first aid. I want to be able to do some basic repairs to myself or others that I may see on the road that need it. Bandages, gauze, tape, alcohol, that kind of thing. Just basic stuff to maybe help stop some bleeding, ease a cut, something like that. Obviously anything major, 911 comes into play, but having something on hand, clean, sterile, that you can apply is very critical. First aid kits are dirt cheap. Get the one of your choice, whether it's from Amazon or Walmart or whatever. They're just a few bucks. They come in all different kinds of cases. I take them out of cases and simply put them in a plastic bag. I have my registration and my insurance in here, and it all goes in a nice waterproof Ziploc bag. You can double bag it if you're really worried about that. But it's a nice compact little package, and it's got all the stuff in there that you need. And I would suggest replacing it every few years if your bike is especially warm, if you sit it out in the sun or anything like that, just so the materials are fairly fresh. So that's number one on the priority list. Number two is being able to at least patch a tire. Getting a nail or a screw or debris is very common, and when you're on the road, it can really leave you stranded. Now, I do have roadside assistance on my bikes. However, if it's just a nail or a screw or something like that, patches are very easy to do. They're oftentimes a permanent repair. I've done them many times on all kinds of vehicles. Never, knock on wood, had a problem. At the very least, it can help get you down the road to a shop, get a new tire, go home, yada, 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 without further expense. I used to carry a full tire kit with a pack of the snakes, rubber cement, a reamer, an install tool, and while they work great, they take up a lot of room, especially the kinds that have the big T-handles, which are really what you need for those big kits. So, a while ago, I switched to Dynaplug Ultras. This is the one I've been carrying on the FJR. You can see it's a tiny little package. Here's the multi-tool I carry. You can see it's much smaller than that. This is about a third the size of the normal tire kit. And then I have these spare plugs here. There's one held in the container itself, ready to go, and then the 3 spare. So this is all you have to carry to fix a tire. Now the difference on the FZ compared to the FJR is there's no room on the FZ for a compressor. So this is only going to help me in the event that I still have enough air pressure to at least get down the road to the next gas station to put air in the tire. Where on the FJR, I've got the compressor. It doesn't matter if it's completely flat, I can fix it. But that's just the way it goes. There's no further room. So to use these guys, it's very simple. It's a rubber plug on the bottom, and it contains this applicator here. It's basically a metal sheath, and the little plug itself is just in there loosely. There's also a little pipe cleaner in here just to clean out this tube itself. And it goes on pretty much like a Dremel attachment. Trying to work this backwards because of the camera angle. Yep, that's what I thought, did it backwards. And you just screw it back together. And this is an all-in-one tool and solution. So you pull whatever out of the tire, and that's where the multi-tool comes in handy, and then very quickly Put it all the way in until it stops at the tire surface, pull it back out. This little brass knob on the end sticks on the inside of the tire, and it's sealed. These are smaller than the standard kit snakes, and you can apply up to 4 of them in the same hole if it's a particularly big one, like maybe a huge screw or something like that. So that's all there is to that. Super easy, lightweight, and small space. That's what I was after with this, as opposed to the regular tire parts. I always carry at least one clean cloth. This is just a shop towel. Obviously multi-use. You can wipe off your hands after doing a repair. You can wipe down blood. You can put it between parts if you have to carry something on the bike. Very, very handy. Always have at least one on the bike with me wherever I go. Multi-tool, obviously very important for multiple things, no pun intended. First of all, you've got all the basic tools in it, pliers and snips. Snips are especially important for when you have to do a tire repair. You snip it down to proper size so it's not sticking out of the tire. But of course you get all the additional tools. A blade, a saw, it's basically a Swiss Army knife, a couple screwdrivers, can opener, that kind of thing. The pliers can be especially important for turning parts, especially if you happen to go down. And it condenses into a very small little space in this nice carry sheath. And that's very easy to pack away pretty much anywhere on the bikes. So that's a no-brainer. Now the stock toolkit that comes on the FZ series is actually really good. Better than the FJR. You do get a small pouch, and this goes right next to the battery, and I'll show you how it goes in a second here. And inside it they give you a decent wrench. It's actually not that bad. It's a 12 and 14 mil wrench. It's not totally cheap pot metal. Of course, it's nothing high quality or anything like that, but it is going to work for turning any kind of bolts that you may need to use it with. So that goes in the bag. Now in the main compartment of the back of the FZ, I've got my cloth, my first aid, my registration, paperwork, and a lantern, a head lantern slash ground lantern. I love this particular one. There are many out there that are like this particular one. This is out of the FJR. This is the new one I'm going to be putting on the FZ. Here's why I like this one. First of all, if you get something like this, make sure you're getting the type that you really want. They come in multiple configurations. This isn't a particularly bright one. There are lamps out there that go 100, 150, 200 lumens. This one goes up to 50, but it takes 3 AAA batteries, and it lasts up to 15 hours. It has a high and a low setting. I would imagine it's closer to 7 hours if you're on the high. That's a long time. They have other models. They have a multi-light instead of just white, but you get less white light. This is for nighttime emergency repairs. I want all the light I can get, so I just like the plain white ones. They have them that are slimmer, that only take 1 battery. They have them, like I said, that are brighter, and then they have different combinations. But this gives you the best runtime. That's what I want. I don't want to have my light go out on me in the middle of a repair. Some of them, the smaller, brighter units, they only last 30 minutes. So I'll take 7 hours. Thank you very much. Super cheap, very well worth it. But the cool thing is they strap to your head. Believe me, this is a lifesaver. If you've ever tried to do a repair in the dark alone using the light on your phone, you'll know why that doesn't work, because you have to try to find something to prop it up against, or you're holding it with one hand, and oftentimes you need 2 hands for whatever you're doing. So this can easily go on your head, or if you need to set it down, it's got a flip, and you can set this anywhere you like. So it can illuminate the side of your bike, put it on the ground, whatever you want to do. Very, very cool, very inexpensive, super easy to use. That's a no-brainer. That goes in the back also, and that completes what is actually on the bike itself. Now under the seat, we have a couple things. One, the rest of the stock toolkit, which again is really cool. We have I believe this is a 4 mil hex key, which takes off just about every panel on the bike. We also have a flat and Phillips screwdriver with a pretty nice holder, and that just slides in there into a slot. This is super handy for adjusting your suspension, for going out and tweaking it, because it gets right up into your compression and rebound damping screws. Super fast and easy, just pop that on and off, or you can just stick it in your pocket while you're doing it. But the point is, they give you 2 wrenches, a hex key, 2 screwdrivers, and it's all good quality stuff, all in the stock toolkit. I'm not kidding. This is good for about 90% of anything you're going to need to do on the side of the road. It won't take off your axles. You can't change a wheel, but that's what roadside is for. The only other thing is this rubber strap and bungee cord. Bungee cords are very, very handy, especially if you need to strap something down to the seat, or, heaven forbid, keep a part strapped onto the bike for a ride to the nearest shop or home or whatever. Lots of uses. I grab a big bucket of these. They're super cheap. I also do the same thing with zip ties. I've given away a lot of them, people that have needed them. Now, if you're looking at the strap going, oh, where'd you get that? That's in your toolkit pouch. A lot of people may not know that this is where it goes or what it was for. But if you have a Yamaha seat, be it any of the comforts or the stock, this is the spot where you attach it. Other than that, I got a bag with zip ties in it, also very, very handy, and that's what I put my lamp in. So this all goes under the seat. I've got the stock toolkit and tire plug kit next to the battery, bungee cord under the seat with the rest of the tools, and that completes the FZ09 carry kit. Good for the vast majority of problems you're going to run into on the road, and it'll save your butt, believe me. Differences on the FJR, all the same basic stuff. Lamp and zip tie go back here, cloth, bungee cord, all that kind of good stuff. First aid kit, registration, yada, yada, yada. Multi-tool. Here's the big difference. I've got basically triple the room. I don't even use this compartment back here. And I also have a really big, deep one right in here, and this is where my compressor goes, and then I have an adapter which plugs right into my battery tender, which is direct to the battery, so I don't have to worry about any fuses popping other than the one built into the pump itself. So again, I can fix anything that goes wrong with the tires. And then the stock toolkit, which on my year was still pretty good, but since this is a 2014, they actually gimped it, and I think they only give you a screwdriver or a wrench. It's just one tool. It's useless. But they still give you a good kit here on my bike. So that's what I'm carrying on both bikes. So I've got the wrench and the tire kit inside the bag here. Now here's the trick to fitting everything easily. This little nub where the rubber strap attaches pushes in a little bit. So this wide section here, you want to put it down on that end. Put everything down to the end of the bag, fold the flap, and that allows it to actually fit in the gap. Wrench on the bottom, tire kit on top, bada bing, bada boom. Here in the back compartment, I put the paperwork and the medical kit on the bottom, nice and flat. Multi-tool I don't put in the sheath on the FZ, there's just not quite enough room. That fits right in there. Light zip ties, tire plugs, fit right in there. Fold the towel into thirds. It stays right in place. Pop your seat on and you're done. Hope this helps somebody. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe to see more, and we'll see you next time.